It was also an historic moment in Canberra today to have the first address to Parliament by a Pacific leader. The Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, James Marape, received a red carpet welcome.
Guard, stand at ace. Arms.
Inside Parliament, some fascinating words, I thought, from the Papua New Guinean leader, who is, we should mention, facing possible no confidence motions at home. So not a bad moment for him to sort of jump over and say, look how important I am with Australia. But he spoke of very close ties, family ties that you cannot break. No mention of China. It's always in the background.
Well, Marape's had a lot going on. There were those deadly riots last year, led to a state of emergency. Domestically, things have been really tough for him as well. And on the China front, yeah, it was sort of a conspicuous absence, wasn't it? I spoke to someone close to this today who was saying that of all those Pacific nations, it's really PNG and Fiji that have been pushing back on the China security front. The recent sort of dabbling or flirtation with a China security pact was put down to one particular minister doing a little bit of freelancing on that front, and also perhaps using China as a bit of a negotiating tool, which, you know, if you're a small state, you need to get attention, and sometimes you've got to be a bit noisy about controversial issues to do that.
We care about the Pacific, but we really care about PNG. It's the only country you can see from Australia's shoreline. So proximity is everything here. If there were any thought that China was closening links, we'd do anything to avoid that, wouldn't we, Kieran?
Yeah, well, it's our front yard, the PNG, in many respects. The rugby league question as well is a huge one. The three biggest days in PNG are the State of Origin matches. They love rugby league. They've had some really good players, Adrian Lamb, Alex Johnson, who I know Andrew likes to have the odd...
I love Alex Johnson.
You like the odd flutter on him to score a try. He's a try-scoring...
responsible.
Yeah, a try-scoring machine, Alex Johnson. His mother, I think grandmother of PNG. But anyway, they have come up with some fantastic footballers as well. And if we were to, say, put a few $100 million in of government funds to help foster that, there wouldn't be a better soft diplomacy that Australia could take part in with, as I say, it's a religion to that country.
Well, the leaders spoke about, in fact, let's just get that before I get the rest of your takes on that, the shared love of rugby league.
We nourish our common interests, our shared values and our unique connections, including, of course, a great and growing passion for that mighty cultural institution, rugby league. And Prime Minister, like you, I hope the day will come when the people of Papua New Guinea can cheer for a team of their own in the National Rugby League.
Yeah. Of course, you also saw the need for us to use rugby league to unite the most diverse nation on the face of planet Earth. I'm grateful for this, Mr. Prime Minister.
We are, of course, at Sky News, taking politics out to the people to see what you make of the big issues of the day. Our reporter Fiona Whelan has been out and about in North Sydney to see how Bears tragics, remember that side, would feel if a team from Papua New Guinea joined the NRL at their expense.
Bring back the Bears, I say.
We need the Bears. It's North Sydney, for goodness sake. You know, they're a bit too far north, the other team.
None of them will, us followers will travel, you know, anywhere near the Pacific, and if they do have games in North Sydney Oval, I don't know what the turnout will be. So
for PNG, they've got a lot of passionate supporters. I think they would benefit from it.
I like the idea of a Papua New Guinea team. I worked up there for a couple of years and they really love their football. So I'd like to see them in the competition. Hopefully 2 teams.
So that was one version at the expense of...
Oh, I got the scoop here.
What's that?
I reckon I've got the scoop. I reckon I've got the scoop. Well, Anthony Albanese mentioned the PNG team very deliberately. So it's clearly he believes it's happening, that the NRL are doing it. So I've asked around. They're looking at 3 new teams in the NRL, is my information, Tom.
3
PNG,
in and none out?
North Sydney. Gosh, I thought I got enough with this much. I don't think any out. I don't think any out. 3 in. I think they're an odd number now. Is that right? So they have to have a bye?
The 17.
Right. Well, if you had 3 in as opposed to 2 in, you wouldn't need the bye, right? So PNG, North Sydney, maybe another one in Queensland. I don't know. I think they should have a WA team. I mean, I used to go and watch the Western Reds. They got pretty good crowds.
So 20 teams it would go to.
I was at their first ever game. It used to be my uni job working at the Wacker, checking tickets. But, you know, yeah, so WA, come on.
20 teams it'll go to, you're saying?
Apparently. We'll play this back later.
All right.
It's inside mail.
Yeah, 3:42 p.m. on the 8th of February. We'll see if that happens or not. Look, if they can.
That's my crystal ball. I didn't get it out today.
If they can bring back Fitzroy while they're at it, that'd be great.
Oh gosh.
But whilst it's a lot of money on a sporting code, but relatively cheap diplomacy, which you.
Oh, it's great soft diplomacy, and
the amount they care about it, right? We don't have we can't quite fathom.
Do you know? I'll throw something else in here. If the government does get this going, which is the city where it would benefit most in Australia, if we just go back to politics, generally politicians think of it through that lens, as you know, Cairns would get a huge boost. PNG comes in, the team, they play, they train. What's the seat that Labor thinks they might win in? Leichhardt, Far North Queensland.
Okay, and I confirmed last night, Warren Entsch, this is definitely his last time around. He is retiring at the election, so there's an opportunity there.
He does like
might fit in.
That. He said that before, hasn't he? This is the John Farnham pledge.
Well, maybe Peter Dunn can talk him into it. I don't know.